Hello everyone, we're going to have a look at interpreting scatterplots. So when you've drawn a scatterplot, you get a distribution of dots and you need to have a look at them and you want to see if they mean anything. So you want to look for a pattern. So in these particular examples here, they've got, that sort of looks like it's going up there. This one sort of looks like there's a connection there. That one sort of looks like it's going that way. So you're looking to see if there's a way of a pattern that follows them. So here they tell you what you want to look for. You want to look for direction, strength, form, and outlines. They're the things that we want to look at. Let's go ahead and look at all those things. But the direction. When you want to look at the scatter plots, you want to see if you're moving in a positive association. This one's a positive association, meaning as you get bigger that way, you get bigger that way. They both happen at the same time. Then we have the negative association, is this one. And that means as you head up on the x-axis, along the y-axis here, your values are actually going down. As you can see that here, when the x is a small value of x and a big value of y, is early on, and then later, a big value of x will give you a small value of y. That's a negative direction. And then you can have one like the last one here, there's just no connection at all, no association. Nothing seems to be connected to anything. So some examples of what they might be. So the first one, what you call a positive association, is a bit like the one, that's the one we've looked at before. You would think the longer you spend studying, the better your marks will be in the end. So that one has a positive association. So this one's a negative association going down this way because as the age of the car increases, the price of the value of the car decreases. So that's a negative association. And this one has no association at all. This one is the age in years. As the age in years goes up of a person, I think they're measuring their calf diameter. Okay, so there's no association between the age of a person and how big their calf is. So that one has no association. Then there's the form of association. So you can either have a linear form, okay, looking here at whether your association is a linear form or whether there are other forms. So the linear forms are like what we've got up here. This one, both these examples A and B are pretty much a linear form. So all the dots seem to gather around a straight line. Okay, but you can have other associations. They're not. You can have non-linear associations. This one is time spent practicing and how good you get at it. So initially, when you start practicing, you improve rather quickly, and then as you get spend more and more time practicing, the improvements you make for the time practicing is not as great as it was when you started with. So that's a non-linear association. So non-linear associations are possible, but the ones we are looking at are just the linear ones. Next thing to know is the strength of an association. So these are all very strong associations. Now, the way you can tell they're strong is that there's not a lot of movement away from the straight line. Okay, or whatever line you've got. If the dots are fairly close to it, that's strong. Okay, and moderate, so you can have a look here. So the dots are not so close to the line of best fit. So that would be moderate. And then you can have no association at all. So that was like as someone's age goes up, what happens to their calf, the different ages of people, what would their calf measurement be? There's no association. You wouldn't expect there to be an association between that one. Okay, another thing to look for is outliers. So an outlier is a data point that seems to be standing out from the rest of the data. They generally do not fit any pattern that is evident as clearly as the other data points. So this particular group of data here, they've said this one here is an outlier because it lies that's apart from the rest of the group. And then you look here, it's a 23-year-old person who is almost, well, they say close to 205 centimeters tall. So that is an outlier. Their data is not the same as everyone else in the group. Outlier is a data point that stands in some level of isolation from the rest of the data. Outliers tend not to follow any pattern that's evident in the rest of the data. There you go. That's how you can interpret scatterplots.